How long do you think it's been since the last time we did this?
We record one every 2 months.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so after we filmed all of our Resident Evil 8 stuff, Anton did add an auto mag. Unfortunately, it's this kind of unfortunate 1911 clone one. 5 rounds. It's probably better than the actual original auto mag. But still, this is a ludicrous amount of firepower for a pistol. I don't think 50 Action Express was meant to go in your hand. But that's not the auto mag that is in Resident Evil, so bleh. I'm not fine, because we have to do the Resident Evil movies. I don't think there's one good one. I think there's a couple okay ones.
That's kind of the general consensus.
It's like playing Russian roulette with a Nerf gun, but 5 chambers are loaded with darts. It's just disappointing 5 times, and then 1 out of 6, it's like, oh, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It's not egregiously terrible, it's just, very underwhelming.
First one is literally just Resident Evil from 2002. We have a whole 2 weapons in this category.
Hooray!
First one is the MP5KA4.
Okay, you don't get a stock.
You barely get a handhold.
Is it just me, or does it look like the red text is floating above the gray?
A little bit.
Is it just that, like, nuclear red?
I don't know.
Oh, is that backwards? It's fine, but, like, why did this need to be the K? Right?
Yeah.
No, it's kind of just a cumbersome way to shoot 9mm. I'm gonna give it... I mean, you get a lot of firepower for the size. I'll give it 5.
Alright.
We're very firmly in the middle there. And what's our final gun from Resident Evil, the movie?
A G36 with a grenade launcher.
Okay, what? Alright, just go. Okay, there we go. It took you long enough. Come on, man. Come on, man. Alright, that's about as expected. Alright, Nope! Alright, and then let's test this. Hooray! This is like an 8-year-old's idea of what you should put on a gun. It needs to be able to do single shot and fully automatic. It needs a zooming scope. It needs, a dot sight. It needs a grenade launcher. It needs 200 rounds. But this is also what most of the guns in modern Call of Duty games look like anymore. If you give them a dumber stock and then, like, cut the barrel down to, like, here. Oh god, have I told you about the demented way my older brother plays modern Call of Duty?
No, but I'm curious now.
Okay, I'm gonna give this a 6. The form factor bothers me. Okay, Diversion Time, hooray. Okay, so he plays, Black Ops Cold War. But how he plays the game is honestly terrifying. So, he runs a perk that allows him to run, like mix and match between primary and secondary slots.
Okay.
He runs a SPAS 12 shotgun.
Okay.
That's his primary. Normally those are in the secondary slot. Okay. And the other weapon he runs is a knife. And they've added the Counter-Strike thing where the lighter the gun you're carrying, the faster you move. So he blitzes around all the maps, just running around shanking everybody, And when he does get cornered and actually needs to get into a gunfight, he pulls out the Spas 12 and just blows him away. And the thing I hate, the thing that boils my blood the most, is it works tremendously for him, and it makes him terrifying to fight.
This dude is running around like Sonic the Hedgehog, and then when someone shows up, he just blasts them in the face.
Yeah. He's playing, like, how a slasher villain should be in a movie. Like, full sprint, knife in hand, ready just to... And then when he gets cornered and actually has to fight, he pulls out this goddamn flippin' anti-aircraft cannon and just starts... Look at the mess it made. Ah.
That ends the 2002 movie. We're moving straight on to Resident Evil Apocalypse. And you got 4 guns in this one.
Hooray!
Starting off with an Arctic warfare that you can actually shoot.
We can finally shoot it! Oh god, just put it in my hands. It's about time you've earned that 10. It only took, what, 6 months for us to give it a rating finally?
Yeah. Specifically a Micro Galil.
I don't know what I meant by that. Alright, well, the role of Mini Galil will be played by Galil. Wait. Now it's Mini. Kicks like a horse. I wish it had a stock. Okay, well, let's actually... I don't like these sights. 4.
Next up is an M16 with an M203 attached.
I'm amazed we haven't done that yet. I have a feeling, given what's already on the table, I know what rating this is gonna get. Let's make sure we have a round in it. Set it to burst. Give me a way better sight reticle. It is, again, another 7. Yeah, they're about the same in terms of profile. The sights are kind of irrelevant. You only have the one. But it is useful. I just don't think it's incredibly practical. It's definitely like, oh, these guys are military, watch out. But that's really about it. Now, if these guys wanted to use, you know, say they want their full power cartridge, but then they also want something a little less lethal, we can hook them up with a Zip 22. This was a real, actual, intended use for the Zip 22, and this killed a company. It's rare that you could say this one product killed a company, but the Zip 22 absolutely killed its company. Thanks for playing, fellas.
Yep.
Now get the fuck out of here.
Alright. To go from a extremely small gun to an extremely large one, M60.
Okay, M16 is not small.
M60.
Well, we just got done with the M16.
We were talking about the
Zip. Yeah, but that was irrelevant to the actual film. Is it? I assume it's this kind of an M60.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah, this is closer to the era where the film was made, but also it's very sad, and looking at it makes me sad, so...
Yeah, no, that's just... Let me look at this. Yeah, either of those are good.
Well, I'm using the original classic.
Alright.
Mostly because it's beautiful. But it's beautiful in the way that, like, a big chunky, like Apache helicopter is. It's just like... It's just a beast. You know, and I'm out here appreciating nature.
Mm-hmm.
Can we shoot this from the window? Let's
Through the wall?
shoot this from the window with the bipod and see how we do at the window. Oh, it's not. I'm but a short queen. I cannot fire this. Well, that doesn't stop me. This is less practical than anything else on this table, but the M60 isn't here for practicality. It's here to make you go, whoa! So, with that in mind, yeah, for zombie hunting, you are absolutely Italian. Alright.
Going straight into Resident Evil Extinction, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you ready to hate me for this?
Well, it's my list, so I will hate past me like 5, 6, 5.
The L85A1.
I don't mind that. It's just the L85A1 and the original L85 are very obviously like the bait, like they are the early access of firearms.
They're beta mode.
The original L85s had a number of problems with their build quality and function for what was effectively just a different flavor of M4. Later models fixed that, but by that point this was kind of poisoned, and the British military, while they do still have some, ultimately decided that the M4 was more their speed. I will say, I love its funky form factor. I feel like it needs a little like clover sticker somewhere, because I've got flippin' beef brain.
Mm-hmm.
Sights are fine. We've got this aperture that's all the way freaking open. The only thing that kind of sucks is there's no mag release. There's like this, but this isn't actually a mag release. I'm grabbing the magazine with the controller geometry. While we're talking certain video games, bam, 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 switch out this. Finally together at last. This is Hermie the Elf and Rudolph the fucking Red-Nosed Reindeer. You could tell when this part was recorded. Yeah, no, I'll give it a 6. It's just an M4, but built funny.
Yeah, I believe that.
I don't get the bullpup hate, but at the same time, like, I get why people aren't so keen on bullpup versus...
I feel like, for me, aesthetically, I like bullpups, but functionally, I hate them.
Yeah, no, like, bullpups make any gun just look a little funkier. I grabbed the Chinese one because I thought it would make my point a little more obvious. But yeah, like, if this magazine was, like, up here, it would look too normal.
Mm-hmm. The Model 1894 lever-action rifle.
Aha! I think somebody was confused when they were directing the movie. They meant, like, give me a 1994 rifle. And then somebody shows up with this, and it's like, your handwriting's so bad, dude. Sorry. It's fine, it's fine. We'll figure out what to do with it in the movie.
Famous last words.
I mean, I love melee lever action, yeah. And the sights on this, not bad. What was that? I hit the safety and it just spat a shell at me. Get in there. Yeah, chamber one of these bad boys in 223, and I'd love to take a whack at it at the range. I totally just threw an extra slug all over the place.
The thought that counts.
Alright, I do want to do one-handed shot just kind of for funsies. Yeah! Ain't you a beaut? Why are you in this? This is the same film that has an L-85 in it. You're a solid 5. You will definitely keep the zombies at bay. I don't think you deserve to be put through this. This is a diversion. I need to show Dan this awful thing. Okay, so... You know, let's pull that bolt back. Let's put a shell in there and load some shells into the magazine tube. It doesn't have a pump, so we gotta... Okay, how do you think we gotta fire this? From here.
Is it that little turning knob at the top?
We can pull it shut. Then... we pop it in to lock it. Then we fire. And now we pop the tab out, pull back, pull forward, pop it in.
So it's a bolt action.
It's a straight bolt action shotgun.
Right. Alright, next up.
Yep.
Beretta CX4 Storm Carbine.
Well, I have an idea where I can start finding that. This is a really kind of scrungly model. Did you know that Beretta's been in business for like 500 years?
I don't know why that doesn't shock me.
They actually, back in the 1500s, they had, I think they're called Arablests, or I might be thinking of something totally different. Lots of information swims around in my head, and I just kind of, I'm like a hungry bear in a river. I kind of just grab whatever is directly in front of me and I spit it out. But they made these guns that are effectively like 3 foot long, like rifles, but they were smoothbore, almost like a musket, and they just they just mount them onto a ship, so that way they could fire in like punch holes and sails and things, out on the seas. It was a more, you know, graceful, delicate, and easy to operate alternative to the cannon. And it existed at Shakespeare's time. It is not out of the question to assume that at some point in his life, William Shakespeare saw, perhaps even touched, a Beretta.
I don't know what to do with that information.
Stew on it and sit up late at night and think.
Lovely.
The sights are fine. It's kind of just a big pistol, which, again, puts it in 5. Like, at some point, you just have to stop and say to yourself, I've only picked this gun because it looks cool. And you know what? You're right. It looks awesome. Next movie.
We still have 2 weapons in this.
Next gun in this movie.
The mini Uzi.
You know what? Maybe I was saying next movie because I'm already sick of this one's choices. What round are you even firing? I do want to know. 9x19. This is totally cromulent. It's fine. It's fine. It gets a 7. It's small. It shoots a 9mm cartridge. It's decently accurate. It's fine. You know, it's not this.
Yeah.
All right. What's our final one?
The sawn off 870.
So it's this, but sawn down to like this size, I assume.
Probably.
We're just gonna use the Mossberg. I don't. People aren't gonna be too mad. And if you are gonna be mad, why do you have to be so mad? It's only a fun video. I'm having fun. You can have fun. I'm not stopping you from having fun. God, look at the shiny material on the back here. I have a ray trace equipped computer and this is more engaging to me. God, that's awesome. Video game graphics have come a long way. You know, once upon a time we struggled to render David Hayter, and now we can render Norman Reedus in like perfect quality. It's like he's really there. No, why is this model like frickin' the most beautiful thing rendered ever? You're seeing what I'm seeing, right?
It is really pretty, yeah.
This actually makes sense in a zombie scenario. But I will grab the Oh, it's stuck. What are you stuck on? I will grab the 870. Yeah, they're about the same size, just without the stock. If this didn't have the stock on it. Yeah, you're getting a very firm 8. Alright, now I've got to be a weirdo about this real fast. There. Look at that. Now I'm Dan, I got a shotgun on my wall. Granted, Dan's is plastic and mine's virtual, so... You know, when you word it like that...
So, next we're moving into Resident Evil Degeneration.
All of these have, like, metal album names.
They do. They really do. And you have one gun in this.
Hooray!
One.
What is it?
The Walter P5 Compact.
I would have never guessed that in a million years. You get 8 shots off a tiny caliber, but it fits in a shirt pocket. That's firm like 6 territory. It's small, it does its job. Thank you, Resident Evil Degeneration. I imagine there's other guns in you, but we've already gone over them.
So now into Resident Evil Afterlife 3D.
Oh, when they put 3D in the name, you know that means it's good.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Jaws.
Yeah.
Or
so...
I was about to say, or Spy Kids, but Spy Kids 3D I think is actually the best Spy Kids.
It is. So, first gun, you simply have labeled as dual double barrel sawn-offs.
Fuck wrists.
I'd imagine you're not supposed to fire them at the same time.
It was... You know what? Maybe so. Very killing floor ass weapon. I mean, if you did it like that almost, I could see a case made for it. You know, you you know, load both of them up. You know, and then you can go... You know, imagine I had that like on a sling or something. And then that way I have 4 shots, but... Everything I've ever said about dual wielding comes to this. Sure, you defeat one of the issues with dual wielding. You know, the aiming can't be bad, because it's a shotgun. You know, it produces, while it doesn't produce the video gamey cone effect, you have this nice, you know, let's load one. You know, so, you know, from all the way at the door, we have this, you know, shotgun wide, you know, cone that I can wing somebody with. Okay. You know, neat. So, you know, we get around the fact that you can't aim the individual weapons. But it just begs the question, still, why not just fire them one at a time so you can actually, you know, line up your shots with each one? You know, you're not... You know, who do you think you are? You know, it's not like you got these sitting on standby so you can go and pull 2 fresh ones out. Nobody does that. Only a fool or an idiot would do that. You know, only a game company that, you know, has almost as much money as God and is getting in trouble for antitrust shit while they have a flippin' Little St. James activist as CEO would do something as boneheaded as that. It gets a 5.
Flare gun, like a flare pistol, straight up.
Do they shoot a flare out of it?
Probably. I don't know, I didn't watch the movies.
Because flare guns can take a 12 gauge shell. There's a problem. If you do load a 12 gauge shell into a flare gun, you kind of break your flare gun. But one of the things you can do, if we, you know, select held type, if you load a low pressure cartridge into a flare gun, it works just fine. Do you want to load a flare gun with Dragon's Breath? You can do it. You probably shouldn't. I think Dragon's Breath is illegal.
It's definitely illegal.
But, you know, no. This is made for specifically the flare. You know. Oh man, I need help, I need help. Now somebody will see that. And they'll come and they'll help. But Anton has luckily added a steel flare gun to the game. And the steel flare gun can just take regular ass buckshot. Now, if you're looking to set things on fire, yeah, you can shoot a flare at something and set it on fire. If you watch The Simpsons, a specific treehouse of horror might have you believe you can shoot a flare through somebody in a very gruesome scene for a show called The Simpsons. That will continue to linger with you over a decade and a half after you watched it. It's just kind of impractical, though. I've got to give it like a 2. If you're trying to use it like a tiny shotgun, just get yourself a shotgun. Like literally, the sporting goods store is $150 and you're done. You'll have a piece of crap shotgun, but you'll actually have a shotgun. If you're shooting a flare, sure. If it's just to help somebody out, why not? If you're doing that to set somebody on fire, like, there's so many easier ways to set a guy on fire. Light a board on fire and start swinging it out.
We go just straight into Afterlife 3D is over.
Okay.
We go straight into Resident Evil Damnation.
You could say it loud and proud. You're an adult.
Yeah.
You're afraid somebody's gonna catch you saying the word damn. Shadow the Hedgehog got away with it.
That's fair. But first, we're starting with the SR2 Veresk, the Russian SMG.
Oh yeah, we don't have the SR2, but we have the SR3, which is the carbine version. This might be the gun that pushes me to my boiling point. If you laughed at my joke, I'm sorry. If you are experiencing some emotional distress, please call the number on the screen, and they will help you out. It's fine. I'll give it like a 7. It's okay.
AKMSU with a red dot.
Okay. So this is the AK-74, and this is the AK-74SU. It's the shorter barrel and the folding stock version. Now imagine the AKM-SU. So we're gonna fire this one because it's got the same, cartridge. This fires 5x45. When we're gonna be firing 7.62 Russian. So we're gonna want this one, but visually, just remember it looks like the small one. So like picture in your head like the barrel stops here. All right. So think small thoughts. You are an ant. You are tiny. My hands look massive with this thing here. We don't gotta reach very far to reload. Wham! We're good to go. That's a lot of kick, and the fact that it's smaller is worrying. 5. So, well, the kick is actually probably about the same. Yeah, the muzzle flip is about equal. So, you know what? No, bump that up to a 6 then.
Alright.
I just think you could do better.
Then to wrap up this movie, RPK.
I said better. Why are all the guns in this one Russian? Remember how our last gun was the AKM but small?
Yeah. This is just the AKM but big.
This is the AKM but big.
It grew up.
Look at you, you've been eating your vegetables. It's not that much bigger. I think it's literally just the barrel is bigger.
I think it's like this DMR-y.
Yeah, you've got a healthy sized barrel and then this kind of a stock. I'll tell you what though, this thing glided through all 30 of those bullets, no sweat. If you put a drum on this bad boy. Yeah, no, 9. You are perfectly cromulent.
Excellent. Alright. Next movie.
Hooray!
We are now moving on to Resident Evil Retribution.
God, again, it's just like they went through... They just looked up, like, most badass words on Google.com.
They kind of just did.
And then they had to quickly delete the search history so Dad didn't find out they used the word ass.
Mm-hmm. Alright, there is one gun in all of Retribution.
Well, there's one more gun. We gotta put it that way. It's not like they're all just running around with the
G36C.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be around the bush. This is just the G36, but easier to handle, I guess. I'll give it a. Yeah, I'll give it the what is this? A 6, a 7?
Somewhere along those lines. I'll give it a 7.
Sure.
And then after this, we have Resident Evil Vendetta. Just kidding. There's nothing new in that one. Resident Evil: The Final Chapter. We have 4 guns in this.
Oh, I thought you were about to say how many more movies are after The Final Chapter.
Nope, that's it. Final Chapter.
There is a new one. There's Welcome to Raccoon City, but I think we already talked about that one.
I think that's a reboot.
Well, yeah, but I think we already talked about that one earlier, like when we filmed the Resident Evil 8, and I think we looked through and it's like all the same shit.
Yeah.
So what's in the final chapter?
Begin the final chapter, we start with the Chiappa Rhino. 50 DS.
Fucking insane. I don't know if it's the result of the jank-ass 6 o'clock firing position, but this gun kicks in a weird direction with every shot. Yeah, like sometimes it kind of tilts left. It's fine. I will give this a 6.
FN, I always say this wrong. FNFAL.
Alrighty, Foul. What are you up to and why are you here? Let's bring out the tactical one. You ain't hitting distant stuff accurately in full auto. I'll give it... Oh, it doesn't even have a mag release? Okay, now that's a 5.
And then to wrap everything up,
The
we're done.
minigun.
The minigun.
Yeah, I wanted to get... I was actually... The original plan was, hey, I should get mods so I can mod in, at the very end, the Samurai Edge. Didn't do that. The game is ostensibly in an alpha cycle. It's meatless. I don't know. I'll make it up to you one day, people. You know, you'll see the minigun when you're older. Technically not incorrect. Where the hell is the minigun? There it is. Yeah, because this is, like, way early. This is in, like, Resident Evil 1 or 2, even. But I'm like, no. We save the minigun for special occasions. Okay, I totally expected that to knock over the stuff on the table more. Remember the good old days when we put a scope on this?
How could I ever forget?
You deserve the 1 ranking that really is kind of emblematic of our whole ethos here on H3VR tryouts. You are fun, not particularly accurate, but a hell of an experience through and through. I would mount you on the wall, but as we saw with that thing, it was a headache. So you'll kind of just sit here. No, we have a fresh table here. You'll sit here, and we'll give you the rank that this whole series deserves. G.
G.
Well, I would say Happy New Year, but this one is absolutely coming out in 2023. This was the end of this season. As it turns out, the moment that Dan and I don't have completely compatible schedules, it's hard to film this series. If you guys would like to see other guests to read my notes, do let me know. Not to say goodbye to Dan, but, you know, every now and then you can have a little Dan as a treat. And then you don't have to wait several months between episodes and ask me when this one's coming out. It's here. You're looking at it. Your eyes are currently absorbing it. Wow. I already have the first actual H3VR tryout of 23 planned. I don't like it. If you're ready to see bullshit that looks like this, get ready, because it's there. Will there be other things? Probably. I haven't written those scripts yet. Hope the start of 23 has been treating you well. Hope the rest of 23 treats you the same. And I'll be here to say, those bullet marks are sideways. My famous catchphrase. No, I'll be here to, you know, joke around with these weapons and then distribute misinformation on the internet, as I always do. Because, as we always say here on this channel, There's no way to fully remember every intricate detail about 124 firearms in long-form video content form without a script in front of you. Hooray! That's my famous catchphrase. Say it all the time. My friends tell me to stop saying it.
Man, your catchphrase is a lot longer than I remember it being.
Yeah, I feel like at one point it was just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Can't remember. Sorry. But now we have to knock all the stuff off the tables. Do you want to unlock the tables so they can go flying too?
Sure. Why not?
Give me that toolbox. So, how do we send these things eaten? Like the Combine grenade? This one's the most powerful grenade in the game.
Sure, do the Combine grenade. Whatever.
Alright. I just knocked over Big Blue. I'm hoping that's not leaking all over the floor. I didn't send the table anywhere.
Well, it is also in a small building.
It was also covered in like several hundred pounds of gun.
Yeah.